We already talked about the fact that our emotions cause us to take action, and that our actions produce results. So today, we're going into the things I learned that you could change to get different results produced by our emotions. So if you're still not satisfied with your results, and you're trying to improve them and yourself, like me, then watch this video. Now, these are the things I said in the Power Steps of Emotions, step 8, which you could do to get different results. Now, of course, it's easier said than done. And that's why I wanted to make a video and talk about them, walk through them with you today. But I'll change the order a bit, but I'll name them all. And at the end of this video, if you watch the video until the end, I'll tell you how someone changed my perspective. And that's the reason why I'm making these videos today. Now again, awareness is key. You have to be aware in what kind of state you're in. You have to be aware of your physiology, what your rules are. You have to be aware of the way you communicate, how you approach something, what your perspective is on things. And most importantly, you have to know what your philosophy is. And some of these things are linked close together. Let's take your state for instance. The state that we're in have a lot of influence on our emotions, our actions, and therefore our results. Now for instance, have you ever been preoccupied or annoyed by something? And that's why you treated someone unfair, unkind, or even snapped at someone, which had nothing to do with that person at all, just because of the state you were in. I think we've all been there. I guess that you can come to the conclusion that you will not get the result you really want to have in that state. Well, maybe you do get the result, but it wasn't in the most prettiest way possible, correct? So in order to change our state and have some more positive results, I learned that the easiest way to do that is by changing your physiology. Now, how to do that? You can do that by drinking or eating something, or by changing your body posture, by simply moving differently. You immediately feel different, which will influence your emotions, change your actions, and therefore change your results. It could be that you didn't have the results you were after because of your own rules. Now, everyone got their own sets of rules, and if you don't know what your rules are, then study yourself. Begin to know the rules you came up with so far in your life and write them down and ask yourself, is this fair to myself or to other people? If not, change them. But let's get into it. For instance, let's say you're going to go to a business event to lay some new connections. But your rule is that people should look a certain way or else you won't speak or interact with them. Because those people make you feel uncomfortable. Not knowing that the guy in the room that looks a bit dopey might be your best connection in the whole room to boost your business to levels that you could never reach by yourself. So sometimes your rules aren't fair to yourself or to someone else, and you leave the treasure behind. So that's why I say, in order to have the results you want to have produced by an emotion, you could change your rules to get what you want. It could also be that you didn't have the results you were after because your communication, your approach wasn't the best one. So let's say a company does something wrong over and over again every month for 6 months straight. Now, you can imagine that you could get a bit frustrating, might even drive you a bit insane. But on which way do you think you get the job done? By calling them aggressively, saying that they're the worst company ever and that the people who work there are probably incompetent. But it's not personal. Or you call them and ask for assistance, asking them to help you to get the problem sorted because it's been going on for quite some time now. And you raise empathy. So by changing your communication and approach, it's more likely for you to get the results you want to have. It could also be that you didn't have the results you were after because of your perspective. Now, have you ever had the experience that you were stuck? You didn't know the answer. You're frustrated out of your mind because you don't know what to do. Now a friend comes by, you talk about it, and that friend simply asks, have you considered doing this? And he presents you with that option. Now by showing you that option, that might make you feel a little bit dumb. Why didn't you came up with it? It was right in front of you the whole time. You thought about it, but it slipped your mind once, and you never gave it much thought. Now the answer lies in your perspective. So sometimes you need other people's perspective to be able to change your perspective, to see more, because you can only see what you know, and that's how you get different results. But there are more ways to do that. You could also put yourself in the other person's perspective to get a different point of view or learn something new. Now that could drastically impact your perspective. It could also be that you didn't have the results you were after because of your philosophy, your approach to life. Now I learned that your philosophy is the most important thing you want to change if you're not having the results that you want to have. Now, it takes time, and I learned that your philosophy is the major determining factor on how your life will turn out to be. I'll go into your personal philosophy in another video because of its importance. And then the last thing about the things you could do to change your results produced by an emotion. Take a look at your attitude and behavior, because your attitude and behavior are two major factors that contribute to the results that you're having. So the next time you have an emotion, took action, and had results, take a look at them and see if there may be some errors and change them. I hope I gave you something to think about. Some more tools about the things you could do the next time to make sure you do get what you want. You do get some different results, and you do get new outcomes. It's all possible for you if you just study yourself, become self-aware, and give yourself time to change. Now it might take sacrifice, but new results are available for all of us. So for now, thank you for watching, thank you for your time. Change your results produced by an emotion, and I'll see you next time.
But wait, it's not the end of the video yet.
Now first of all, I hope that you like this video and that you get some different results. And I deliberately chose that example about changing your perspective because that's exactly what happened to me. And that change in perspective is one of the reasons why we're making these videos today. Now I remember a couple of years back when I didn't saw my children very much, and I was learning new things every single day. I was spending a lot of hours in the train, and I transformed the train into my own personal train university. Now I remember I was trying to come up with a way to be able to reach my children. So I had a perfect idea. I decided to write a book about the lessons I was learning to be able to reach my children. Now, then they would have something tangible in their hands that they could read. And they could be like, my dad wrote this, and it's filled with lessons. But when I was writing the book, and I was going through my journals, documents, and all of my summaries, it was so overwhelming that it seemed impossible to write it down in a chronological order. Now that left me stuck. I remember asking myself this question multiple times a day: what could I do to be able to reach my children? So one day, one of the managers came by and we talked about it. We talked about the fact that I wanted to reach my children, but I just didn't know how. And we began talking about different types of videos. And well, it crossed my mind one time to start recording my lessons with a microphone and putting a nice screensaver on the background. But he said, if you want my perspective, I much rather look at a person. And then he asked me, so why don't you make videos? And I was like, why didn't I come up with this? Why didn't I come up with that idea? But because of the fact that he presented this option, his perspective, he changed my perspective. And with it, the result. Because recording a message on a moving background or shooting real videos are two total different things. So after I did some thinking, talked to my friend Cor about it, and asked him if he was willing to help me to make the videos. And he said, let's go do this. And that is how the idea of making videos for BusinessRandy was created. I was already posting messages about the things I was learning as BusinessRandy. and posting my personal messages as Personal Randy. Now, pretty soon, people were calling me Business Randy on the job, so it wasn't very difficult to come up with a name. But there were still a lot of things that needed to happen before we really started to make videos for Business Randy. But if it wasn't for that manager, that talk, and his perspective, I'm not sure if we would be making these videos today. Now, if you're interested in the whole story, then go to my website. I'll leave a link in the description for you to go there. So for now, again, thank you for watching, thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.